Hi Capricorn, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your How to Live Your Best Life in 2018 reading. I'm so sorry that I didn't do you guys first. It's not that, you know, the thing is I've always gone on the actual signs that view me most. So I usually upload to the people, I mean I've tried it in other ways, you know, uploading to the signs that view me least and putting them first and see if maybe that would increase viewership, but it didn't. So I just thought, okay, well, these signs, obviously there's less people that will view me, so I'll put those last. But obviously there are people that view me anyway from each of the signs, whether it's a little or it's a lot. And I forgot it was your birthday month, and I didn't mean to. So happy birthday, Capricorns, and I do apologise that this reading is coming to you kind of last. You and Leo, I guess, but you guys view me the least, so that's why the readings are not always the first on the channel, I'm afraid. I do apologise for that. Anyway, we've got this reading, How to Live Your Best Life. And How to Live Your Best Life, you know, I did the December, January readings for each of the signs, and I got so much kind of like a little bit of a backlash on people saying how negative some of the readings were and things like that. And it's like, well, especially for the new year, and I'm thinking to myself, well, you know, just because it's a new year, what do you think? Do you think that the reader is God? The reader is not God. The reader is just reading the messages that come out of the cards. When we shuffle these cards, we don't have any connection to them. I'm connected to what I do, and I'm connected to every single deck of my cards because it's my deck, my decks. I've got over 100 decks of cards, and I handle them with my own hands. So they're like my children, the decks are. But what comes out when I'm shuffling for, whether it's a personal reading or a general reading, I've got no attachment to anything because everything is just a space. It's not my story, it's yours. So after that, I just thought, you know what, for the year ahead, I was going to do the live spread because that's a predictive reading to see what's coming in. And I might still do those because I do like doing those. But I just thought I'd like to do something a little bit more advice-based. So we're going to do, this reading comprises of 11 areas. This is my own reading that I did about a week and a half ago or so. Really good, 11 areas, and this is really a reading that you should really be able to take with you through the year to help you. There's a love reading as well next door to this, but this reading should help you to find out or to explore how you can live your best life. And we hone in, generally through the reading, we generally start to get an idea of where the direction is, where it's going. What is going to be the theme for some of you guys? What is the theme you need to concentrate on and work on in order to live your best life? So we're going to use the Universal Weight Tarot deck, this for the main reading. For your advice cards, we've got The Healing with the Angels by Doreen Virtue, Esther and Jerry Heeks Getting into the Vortex, and the Archangel Power Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. So we're going to put to the side the advice cards until we're ready to use them, and also the packaging for the Universal Weight. I'm going to start shuffling the cards. So Universe Spirit, how can Capricorn live their best lives in 2018? What is it that Capricorns need to do to live their best lives in 2018? How can Capricorns live their best lives in 2018? What can Capricorns do to live their best lives in 2018? How can Capricorns live their best lives in 2018? How can Capricorn live their best lives in 2018? Show me. Alright, we're going to split the deck into three. Now, as I've shuffled this way, Capricorn, what we need to do... So, to me, if I was going to deal with the cards, I'd be able to see them the way that they were shuffled, and you'd see everything the other way around. So, that's not what we want. We want you to see the cards. So, I just turn things around the way that I shuffled the cards. This is the foundation. This is the reason why you want to change your life or you want to live a better life. This is position 2, what you've been doing as a result of this to change or better your life in 2018. This card is what your goals are for 2018, and this is what you're doing to achieve those goals in 2018. This is what your challenge is, Capricorns, in terms of your lives in 2018, and this is what you'll be doing to overcome that. Position 7 talks about how the next stage that some of you guys need to probably focus on in order to enhance your life, or what you need to do to try and enhance your life in 2018. This is who you guys are in 2018 and perhaps how you're approaching the year or the situation. This is the influences coming in and what you'll need to do. This will be your hopes or desires in 2018 for a better life, and this is the overall advice in terms of what you need to do in order to live this better life in 2018. Capricorn, so... in your foundation, let me get my pointer pen. In your foundation, what's this all about? Right, the Six of Wands in the reverse. So some of you guys don't feel that you're being recognised, because the Six of Wands in the reverse represents lack of recognition. It also means a lack of victory. So Six of Wands in the reverse is when you're not getting what you want. So for example, if you run a shop and say for example 2015, 2016 you were doing really, really well in your shop, and then 2017 comes and it's hit you that you're not getting any sales, or you're certainly not getting as many sales as possible, business has gone right down the pan, you'd be that Six of Wands in the reverse, because it's a lack of success, it's a lack of victory. In your foundation, the Six of Wands could say, well, the reason that you want to live the best life, or the reason that you're looking to try and change or enhance your life, is because some of you guys, it might be a lack of confidence with the Six of Wands. It might be that you have tried to do something for some of you guys and it has failed, because the Six of Wands in reverse can also, speak of failure. But this is a lack of recognition. Sometimes this is a lack of being able to start a new venture with the Six of Wands. Overall, I think there's been a lack of success somewhere along the line for some of you Capricorns. And as a result of that, what you guys have been doing as a result of that to try and enhance your lives is the Judgment in the reverse. Now, that's interesting. Why would you do Judgment in the reverse as a result of this? Jeez, we've got a lot of reversals again. What the fuck is this? Alright. Yeah, they are. Okay. Right. Alright. Okay. It's okay to have reversals. When you get a lot of reversals in a reading, I see that as being that there is something to you guys. You're a long way off from a goal when you get a reversal, as far as I see reversals, because they're not upright. They're not saying, well, you're right there. You're right there at that point where things can really turn. It's almost like there's a lesson here that needs to be learned, and it might take a bit of time for you to do that for some of you guys. But the reason, as a result of this, in order to live a better life, you guys have done this Judgment in the reverse. Now, that's interesting, because I thought you'd have done this. Judgment in the reverse, but you've done this. Judgment in the upright, sorry. I thought you'd have done that, because this is about release. Wake-up call. This is about realizations when you get the Judgment card. So I'd have thought that if there was a lack of success in your foundation, what you're going to do in terms of this lack of success, in order to change things around and enhance your life, is Judgment. Make some very important life-changing decisions with the Judgment energy, but it's reversed. So in order to live your better life as a result of this, I don't know whether to read this as something that you guys have negatively done, because the Judgment in the reverse represents that you're not really making any changes. Or maybe I need to look at this differently in terms of its reversal. So if this is about making some life-changing or, some big decisions, some big judgments, big changes, then it's the absence of big change with the Judgment. Maybe some of you guys have made some small changes here. Maybe they've not been as huge. Maybe you've been, there's been a lack of success here, but maybe in order to enhance your life, it might be with the Judgment card, you've made some smaller changes here. Judgment in the reverse usually means that you're not facing up to the truth, or it means that there is a standstill, or there's stagnation, or things stay the same, or it means that you're not heeding a wake-up call, or you're not listening. But I don't think it's that. I think somewhere along the line, for me, this is screaming out and saying it's almost, because all I'm looking at is the people here that are rising from the dead in the upright. These people are being called to action. So this is a wake-up call. It's a call to action. It's the Judgment card in the upright. But in the reverse, it's the absence of being... So it's almost like not listening. I get the impression that you guys are doing something, but I think that you're not... It's almost like you feel that there isn't a need. That there isn't... I just get the impression that you guys don't feel that there is a need here to make any significant changes regarding this. And maybe this is you guys trusting in something here with the Judgment card reverse. I think that it's almost like, because you are the dead, you're the wake-up call, and the angel is often the situation. The angel can be, God talking in your ear, intuition, for example, whatever you want to call it with Judgment. But this is a realization and a wake-up call as a result of this in the upright. But this is not occurring here. Okay, so it's almost like, what if you look at the angel, it's blowing its trumpet, but the trumpet is now upside down, and it's actually the trumpet, these people are upside down, and these people are being swept into the trumpet, if that makes any sense. So they're about to fall into that trumpet. The sound is still calling on that Judgment card in the reverse, but the people are now being swamped in, they're being swallowed into something here. So the word swallowed, being swallowed up, as a result of this, you guys are doing this. I don't know whether you're actually doing enough. I think some of you guys aren't doing enough in the recent past. I think you're almost being swallowed up by the situation. You know what to do, but you're just allowing something to continue, I feel. It's the first time I've seen kind of like a little bit of a negative thing, and which I get the impression it is. I feel that you're being overwhelmed. There's a sense of feeling overwhelmed. But this card really, this position should say, well, what are you doing as a result of that? And for some of you guys, I get the impression that you're burying your head underneath the covers. Because your goal for 2018 is the Knight of Swords in the reverse. And that would be not to pursue. I almost get the impression, looking at this reading, Capricorn, and it's the first time this has come about, and I guess that this is really teaching me something, that not all of these readings need to really be wham, bam, pizzazz. Yeah, we recognise that something isn't changing, so we need to go and do that, and we need to do this and that. There's almost a subtlety to the reading, from what I can see. There's almost a great big subtlety, that it's almost like Capricorn is saying, yeah, in my foundation there's been a lack of success. And what I've done as a result of that lack of success to change my life is probably nothing with judgment. I get the impression that you've just gone with the flow. I think that as a result of this, some of you guys, in the way that you feel that you're going to enhance your lives in 2018 is really just to go with the flow and see how things roll. So I get the thing that you guys are seeing how things roll for a certain time, because your goal is the Knight of Swords. And that is, I think I get it. This is something to do with your psyche, Capricorn. You want to avoid drama. Knight of Swords in the reverse means to avoid drama. In the upright, this is about becoming quite erratic. So there's a lack of success here, and you guys, it might be as a result of this, you do nothing. But this card, I mean, this wouldn't be your goal. Your goal with the Knight of Swords would really be to bringing those changes, to rush headlong into, to aim for a goal, to aim for change, because it's a change card. Knights represent comings and goings of situations. But the Knight of Swords in the reverse is the absence of drama, and it's the absence of courage sometimes. But I don't think it's a lack of courage on Capricorn's part. I think that you guys, your aim is to slow it down. I think that to slow down the pace. I think that somewhere along the line, Capricorn's goal for 2018 is to slow a pace down. So even though in the foundation, it's all about the reason why you want to enhance your life is because of the Six of Swords and Wands in the reverse. This is a lack of recognition, lack of victory, lack of success. And around that, it's almost like you have accepted this with the Judgment card in the reverse. You've kind of, because the people are being swallowed, they can hear the trumpet, but they're not acting on that. They're just allowing the sound to drag them in. So it's almost like the knowledge. The knowledge is the trumpet, Capricorn. You're allowing yourself to kind of absorb the knowledge, but you're not acting on the knowledge. You're just saying, okay, is that what it says? All right, I'll just go with that. I understand that, but I don't feel I need to act on that knowledge of whatever this is, because my goal is really to slow something down here. So I almost get the impression that your intention for 2018 is really just to slow things down for some of you guys. And how are you going to do that? How are you going to slow certain things down with the Knight of Swords in the reverse? By the Five of Cups in the reverse. And this is about transitioning, because the Five of Cups in the reverse is a card about acceptance. Accepting the things that can't be changed. Accepting the things that can't be worked on. Accepting the things that one has lost. Accepting failure. Accepting disappointment is the Five of Cups in the reverse. So I think it's almost like how you're going to achieve this goal of slowing something down, not acting on impulse, avoiding drama, is by just accepting what is gone or what has failed. And the failure would be here, because the Five of Cups in the upright is about sadness and loss. And you'd feel like this if you weren't having particularly victory or you weren't having any particular success. But you're going to focus on this, and that is just accepting whatever it is that is not working out. I accept it, because my aim is to either slow things down with the Knight of Swords, or really not to be so impulsive and not to be so angry and, drama-led or, frantic or frenetic around situations that don't work for me. I might as well just accept them and say, that's fine. It's cool, because it's almost like you say, if this isn't working out or this thing hasn't worked out, then it's not meant to, it's not meant for me. And I kind of get it, and I kind of understand that, and I think it's very admirable that this is the case for some of you Capricorns, because your challenge, Capricorn, is the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So the Ace of Swords in the reverse talks about a lack of clarity. Ace of Swords in the reverse can speak about stagnation, things that aren't changing. The Ace of Swords in the reverse can speak about a lack of ideas, and the Ace of Swords can also speak about severance. So some of you guys, it might be that your challenge is to sever ties with a situation, but how you overcome that Ace of Swords, or it might be that what you're challenged by is mental blocks, because the Ace of Swords in the reverse is all about mental blockages, but how you overcome that Ace of Swords is by the Ace of Wands in the reverse. And it's almost like the reading is telling you to let something go and just leave it. It just feels that way to me, because the Ace of Wands in the reverse is to not invest one's energy and to not plant a seed for growth. So it's almost like how you avoid this Ace of Swords is by not doing something, not starting something anyway. And I'm just trying to piece together what the hell this is, because it's the first time it's kind of like you've got a lot of air, you've got 2 air cards, and you've got 2 fire cards, and fire and air are the furthest away from the centre of the earth in a reading. Water and earth are embedded in the situation, but the fire and the air are more like your emotions and your thoughts. Okay, so your passion and your drive. The Six of Wands in the reverse. So I think that this Six of Wands is not about a lack of success. I think that this, in your foundation, the reason why you want to enhance your life is because I think that it's almost like you guys here, Capricorn, lack, I don't think it's that you lack confidence. I think it's that you might lack the drive. You might lack confidence in something there with the Six of Wands in the reverse. Again, the impression in the foundation, the reason why you want to improve your life is because of this. With this, I don't know what this is. It could be that there is, I think it might be a lack of success. I think something's not working out. But I think you've accepted it. How you're going to enhance your life is just by accepting it with that Judgment in the reverse. I don't even think that you're putting your head underneath the pillow, you know, with that Judgment in the reverse. I think that because this doesn't represent kind of how you're going to approach this or how you're trying to sort this out in 2018 is by making some radical changes with the Judgment energy, okay, or resurrecting certain things that you haven't dealt with in the past or you haven't sorted out in order to try and counteract this energy. It's almost like with Judgment in the reverse, you hear, because it doesn't stop the trumpet from sounding. It's still sounding. We're sounding upside down, and the people are kind of getting swept into that into the trumpet. So these people can hear, but they're just kind of absorbing themselves with the sound. They're not acting on the sound. They're kind of saying, okay, I hear it, I accept it, you know, I'll just go with the flow with it. So it's almost like you're listening, but you're not acting. So the way that you're going to enhance your life is by not having to make any radical changes despite this energy here. It's almost like you're going with the flow. Even though there might be some disappointment and some lack of success in this Six of Wands in the foundation, Capricorn, it's almost like as a result of that, how you have thought about enhancing your life is really just to accept that thing, accept whatever that lack of victory is or success is, because your goal is not to pursue a certain area of your life anymore. I think that you don't want to pursue a certain area of your life anymore, so you're going to let something go because you're not interested. I would say that you guys are no longer interested in pursuing something here. But how do you achieve that goal of not having, and this to me says it's something that you would have to do. I get the impression, Capricorn, that this is something you actually have to do. But I get the impression that this is something that doesn't drive you anymore, and it doesn't make you feel very good anymore. And it makes you feel a slight sense of boredom and a slight sense of a lack of interest, a lack of excitement. And that's why your goal is to let something go. I would say your goal is possibly to leave a situation with that Knight of Swords in the reverse, to bring something to a halt in your life, because I think that there is a lack of interest with this Judgment card as the reason of what you've done as a result of this, which is nothing. Because your goal is to leave something with this Knight of Swords, to put a halt to a situation here. You're not willing to pursue it anymore. And how you're going to do this, not pursue this, is the Five of Cups in the reverse. I think you're going to let something go. I think you're going to transition and move on to something new. Because your challenge is the Ace of Swords. I think that you guys feel stuck. I think you've been stuck in something for a very long time. But how you overcome feeling stuck, I feel, with this Ace of Swords in the reverse is the Ace of Wands in the reverse. And this is about not putting any more focus or enthusiasm or planning anything or building or planting any more seeds. I would say that this is about not investing any more time or energy into whatever this thing is. with this Ace of Wands in the reverse. The next stage, or in position 7, what you'll need to do next to enhance your life in 2018. God, Eight of Coins. It keeps saying to me there's something here you need to leave, and it really feels strong, the energies. The Eight of Coins in the reverse. This is what you need to. You need to stop work. Some of you guys. You need to stop working on this thing. Stop working on it. Don't put any more time or energy. Because Eight of Coins in the reverse represents laziness. It represents a lack of enthusiasm, a lack of interest. It also represents somebody who's not putting any time or effort into a situation, whether it's their work or whether it's a relationship. I know this isn't a relationship reading. You'll already have one up. It's telling you, no, don't invest any more time, any more of your time. Don't put any more of your effort and time into whatever this situation is. Because you guys in 2018, Capricorn, are the Two of Swords in the reverse. I think, you know, Two of Swords in the reverse has always been one of those difficult cards for me to try and understand with the tarot. It always has done. Because in one hand, it can be where you are enlightened and you've come to a decision. And some of you guys might have done that. And on the other hand, the Two of Swords in the reverse can be where you refuse to make a decision. You're very indecisive. This is indecisive in the upright. But the Two of Swords is a place of stagnation when it's reversed. And it represents to really suppress and hide one's feelings. So I get the impression that you guys are at some form of a real crossroads with that Two of Swords. I think you have made a decision here, though. I think that you've come to light. Because if this is indecisiveness in the upright, then I feel the reversal must be the absence of indecisiveness. Now, the absence of indecisiveness can also be to do nothing. To do absolutely fuck all about a situation. I just get the impression you guys aren't doing anything. You might have come to a decision here. We'll see. We'll get clarified with that in a moment. Coming in, what you guys will need to deal with in 2018 is the Seven of Wands in the reverse. They're reversals, but they tell a very, very good story. This means to surrender. So you guys will possibly start feeling more free. The Seven of Wands in the upright means struggles, and you're always fighting against people, what people demand, what people want of you. Fighting against time, fighting because you've got so much responsibility, trying to keep the wolves at the door, keep the wolves at bay. But in the reverse, this is, well, that's all gone. Sometimes this can be the card about surrendering in the reverse, and sometimes this can say, well, the gate is now open to freedom. This is freeing something here with the Seven of Wands in the reverse as well. We'll see what comes up with this card. Your hopes, well, your hopes are the Empress. I think some of you guys want to live, some of you guys, this might be something to do with retiring or something like that, but the Empress in the upright is all about prosperity and growth and abundance, and I feel that your hope is to feel free and to feel that you can indulge in your creative passions with that Empress, to build a life of prosperity, as I've said, abundance. Perhaps you guys want to nurture something here, for example, with this Empress energy showing there. But this is a card about nurturing and growth. So your hopes would be to nurture, to grow, to gain prosperity, abundance, financial, material comfort, for example, for some of you guys. And just comfort in your own environment here with the Empress energy. Some of you guys might want to run your own business, for example, with the Empress. The overall outcome of how you... Sorry about that, guys. The overall outcome for how you achieve or live a better life in 2018. The overall advice is you have to tread a new path, Page of Wands. Explore new territories. For some of you guys, it might be travel. For some of you guys, it might be going back to university. For some of you guys, it might be studying a new what's the word for it? It might be studying with the Page of Wands. A new course, for example. This can be like a creative student, that type of thing. It is to tread a new path. There's something here, to me it's very apparent, something here you guys don't want to do in 2018. And the universe is saying how you live a better life is to stop doing whatever you don't want to do. There's something you don't want to do here. I want to see why you guys are the Two of Swords in the reverse. Why is Capricorn the Two of Swords reversed in 2018? Two of Wands, there you go. See, I think that actually this is, you've made a decision. I would say that you guys, I wouldn't, because indecisiveness is the Two of Swords in the upright. So I would now say that you guys have made a decision that you want to follow a new direction. Two of Wands is a direction. And yes, twos do represent duality, and they represent indecisiveness, and they represent balance and imbalance and all of those types of things. But I do think that you've made a decision that you do want to follow a new path with that Two of Wands energy showing there, because Two of Wands is about a new direction, and the Two of Swords in the reverse can be about finally making that decision. So I think you've made a decision to follow a new path for some of you Capricorns, because the reason why you want to enhance your life is because of the Six of Wands in the reverse. I think there's a lack of recognition here in terms of maybe a job role that you've got, because the Queen of Wands is all about work, okay, career path. So I feel that there's a lack of recognition in terms of maybe the work that you do as the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is always a very vivacious, busy, a very, you know, confident lady when it comes to work. This could be somebody who's a supervisor or a manager or a project manager, for example. But I think that you have a lack of recognition in terms of what you do as the Queen of Wands, in terms of your work, I would say, with this Queen of Wands energy. And I think as a result of that, the first stage for you guys trying to live your better life, as a result of that lack of recognition, is to do the Judgment energy in the reverse. Seven of Cups in the reverse. Well, I think as a result of this energy here, I think as a result of a lack of change, possibly. I don't think that this is what you've done here with the Judgment in the reverse. I think that you have, with this, I think as a result of that, what you've done to try and live a better life is to, yeah, you know what I think you've done? I think you've not made any real and significant decisions with the Judgment card in the reverse until you streamline your choices. So there's no point in trying to make decisions when you're all this, when you're confused at so many options. You guys have tried to reduce those options with the Seven of Cups in the reverse. So you've decided, I think as a result of starting to live a better life for some of you Capricorns, what you've done is you've not made any significant changes or decisions with the Judgment card until you streamline and try and wheedle down what your choices are with this Seven of Cups in the reverse in terms of where you want to go to next. Because I'm pretty sure some of you guys aren't happy in a job. Somebody's not paying you or giving you the recognition that you deserve. And because your goals for 2018 are the Knight of Swords in the reverse. And I think that this is not to pursue with this Knight of Swords in the reverse. The Tower. That's interesting. I mean, your goals are not to pursue any significant changes or moves. So it might be for some of you guys, what you want to do is you want to stay, for example, if there's a lack of recognition here with the Queen of Wands, so you guys might not be recognised for the amazing work that you do as the Queen of Wands energy in your foundation, and that's why you want to enhance your life, or deciding that you want to change job, you want to live a better life, because nobody's giving you recognition for what you do, even though you're great at what you do. And I think that you haven't made any life-changing decisions with the Judgment card until you streamline what your options are. You wheedle down, well, what are my options in this? Because your goal is, I think, not to pursue any huge changes with the Tower energy. I think you guys want to stay with wherever you are. But I feel that you want something a little bit different, because you're not receiving the recognition, or I get the impression that you're not being valued for what you do. As a result of this, how are you going to do this? Well, the Five of Cups is in the reverse, and let's have a look at what comes up with that Five of Cups reversed. So as a result of your goals being the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords, in the upright, he would rush into the burning tower to save the situation. But he's not, he's avoiding that tower. So he's avoiding any, and this is your goal for the year. And this is not to pursue the Tower. The Tower is about changes. It's almost like you want to keep something the same, but you need to reduce it, or you need to change it up in some way. And as a result of that, how are you going to do that? Five of Cups is going to be your focus in the reverse. Nine of Wands in the reverse. I think that your focus will be, for some of you guys, overcoming. See, the Five of Cups in the reverse can either be, well, I accept the situation for what it is and I'm not going to be upset about it anymore. Or this could be a card that says, well, my focus is going to be about leaving whatever it is that makes me feel sad in order to, with this Nine of Wands, relinquish the anguish that I've been feeling. Because Nine of Wands in the upright means suspicion and anguish and feeling on edge. But this is the absence of feeling on edge. The absence of boiling point, Nine of Wands in the reverse. So it's almost like you're going to focus in order to, but then we've got to look at this key card here, Capricorn, that your goal is this Knight of Swords in the reverse. And this is, the Knight of Swords in the reverse doesn't want to take any action. So this is not to pursue the Tower, and Tower is all about change and massive moves and massive changes. So your goal are not to have any huge upheavals, I feel. Your goal is not to have any huge upheavals in 2018. Even though you're not getting the recognition you deserve here, you refuse as a result of this to make any significant changes until you've streamlined what your options are, because your goals are, well, I don't want to make any radical changes in this area here, because my goals are not to, you know, have any huge upheavals, i.e. I don't like my job, I don't like the way they treat me, so I think I'll move to another city to go and work. You don't want to do anything like that. So as a result, how are you going to get this? Well, it's the Five of Cups in the reverse. I think that this is you guys focusing on trying to accept whatever is going on in here in order to cool the situation down, in order to temper your feelings on this situation. But because your challenge is the Ace of Swords in the reverse, and I think that this is a lack of clarity on where you guys are going to next with that Ace of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so your challenge is severing this partnership. Ace of Swords reverse is severance, and the Two of Cups is partnership. So I think that your challenge is cutting out this partnership wherever you are. This work, I think this might be to do with work. Your challenge is to divorce, to separate this partnership, to cut this contract, for example. But how you overcome that particular challenge, Capricorn, is the Ace of Wands in the reverse. Let me think about those energies, because death in the reverse means to stay, or to resurrect, or not to close the door. Well, you see, it's almost like the Tarot is trying to say, well, you know, some of you guys, and it's coming from here. Because it's almost like to say, well, if you don't want to sever, if your challenge is severing a partnership here, a working partnership, a contract here, then how do you overcome that challenge? Well, if that's your challenge, well, you don't start planting new seeds if you want to keep the door open. So it's almost like it's reaffirming back to a Capricorn. If you're unhappy in something, it's almost like the universe is trying to say, we don't know how to help you, Capricorn, with this reading. I know it sounds bad, and you guys are going to come back and say, what? But it's almost like the universe is saying that to you, because the Ace of Wands in the reverse is not to start. It doesn't even get started. It's a failed project, or you don't start planting that seed. Because this is all about growth, planting a seed and watching it grow. But in the reverse, you're not even planting it. And this is the advice for what you do to overcome this. Well, if you don't want to sever this thing, if you don't want to sever this contract, then don't start planting seeds if you want to keep the door open. Because the Death card in the reverse is to keep a door open. You haven't fully ended something here. And it's almost like it's saying, well, don't plant new seeds with the Ace of Wands in the reverse if you want to keep the door open. So it's saying, well, what can we do for you, Capricorn? I mean, you're not getting recognition here. All right, Six of Wands in the reverse. You're not getting recognition for what you do as the Queen of Wands. You can read as anybody, and I think the Queen of Wands is you're not getting recognition for your abilities, for your ability to multitask and to do everything, which is what the Queen of Wands does. And as a result of that, in order for you guys to live your better life, what you've said as a result of this, well, I don't like this, but what I think I'll do is I'm not going to make any radical decisions with that judgment energy until I've streamlined exactly what I'm going to do about this, until I've made a firm choice on what I'm going to do, until I've really looked at and put my options into order. Because my goal is I don't really want to pursue a move here. I don't really want to pursue a huge upheaval in 2018. I really want to stay in what I do. But I know that in order to have this, I'm going to have to accept with that Five of Cups in the reverse. In order to that, I'm going to have to surrender. I'm just going to have to just deal with it, because the Nine of Wands in the upright is also about holding on in there until you've got that change or you get what you want. In the reverse, it says, well, I just surrender and I give up. So some of you guys, the focus might be, well, it could be that if I don't want to pursue any radical changes, I'm just going to have to accept with that Five of Cups in the reverse that I'm probably going to need to surrender to this situation. Because I think that your challenge is, Capricorn, that you don't want to sever ties. You don't want to cut or divorce or end with the Ace of Swords in the reverse, a contract or a union or a partnership. But the universe is saying, well, if that's your challenge, then Ace of Wands in reverse. You don't start anything else if you want to leave the door open with the Death energy. Don't start something, in other words, that you can't finish, because the Death card means you can't finish it. And the Ace of Wands means don't start it. So it's saying, well, if you can't sever this community, this partnership, don't start something you can't finish. Basically, Capricorn. So I think the universe is saying, well, it's almost like, Capricorn, you're moving really slowly on something here. You don't like something, but you're afraid to take an absolute leap of faith because you really don't want upheaval in 2018. However, the next stage to how you start to enhance your life is by not putting any hard work. Eight of Coins in the reverse. So this is about not putting any effort. Eight of Coins in the reverse. Into holding on to this thing, because the Four of Coins means to hold on. They are two money cards, but you know, this is the advice of how you start to enhance your life in 2018. And it keeps saying that you need to leave something here, so it's telling you don't put any effort into this. Eight of Coins in reverse. Do not put any hard work or effort into something that with this Four of Coins, possibly, because this isn't about real, I mean, I don't know, Four of Coins, do we call it a growth card? Do you feel it's about growth, the Four of Coins? It's about gain. How do you enhance your life in this stage? Well, you can't put any effort into something here. Don't put any effort into I would say into holding on. And the Four of Coins is all about holding on to the money. So the Four of Coins can often be, well, I do a job and I don't like it, but I do it because I need to earn the money. But it's saying don't put your attentions or don't put your focus on the money. Four of Coins. So I think that the way that you enhance your life is not putting focus, Eight of Coins in the reverse, on the money side of things. This must be a job for some of you guys, Capricorn. And what you'll see coming in as a result of that is the Seven of Wands in the reverse. And let's see what shows up with the Seven of Wands in the reverse. So this is what you'll see coming in. Four of Swords in the reverse. So I think that what you'll see coming in with this Seven of Wands in the reverse is the freedom with the Seven of Wands in the reverse to start pursuing, to start taking action on other things, because the Four of Swords in the upright is all about peace and contentment and what's the word that I'm looking for with the Four of Swords? I'm trying to think of the upright word for this. This is where you let go and you surrender and you don't act, but you're still taking action with the Four of Swords in the reverse. So it's not time to give up with the Four of Swords in the reverse. So this is the freedom to act. What you'll experience is the freedom to act with that Four of Swords in the reverse. I think I need to put this down here, Capricorn, because this is actually you. Spirit said put this down, because Queen of Pentacles is in the reverse, and that's you. And I think that what you'll see coming in is the freedom to take action with this Four of Swords in the reverse on things that mean most to you. Because Queen of Pentacles is a very self-serving card, so she's somebody who's very driven by herself, by her own desires, whether that be in career, or whether that be in health, or whether that be in her looks, or whether that be in, you know, her own ambition. This is a very ambitious card, but she's ambitious for herself. So I think that what you'll experience with this Seven of Wands in the reverse is the freedom to act on the self and act on things that mean the most to you with these cards. Because your hopes are for the Empress. And this is to, possibly some of you guys the hope might be to do something more creative than what you're doing right now with that Empress card in the showing up there, Knight of Pentacles. I think that your hopes are that there's going to be a more creative line of work that will bring you your financial income, because the Knight of Coins represents an income. Your hopes, and the Knight of Coins is a goal, so your hopes are really with this Empress energy. Some of you guys, you might be starting a creative business here in which you can attain, for example, your goals, or you can earn an income with the Knight of Pentacles energy. I think you guys don't want to be, I think you're doing something that you don't want to do, but you're doing it for the money. Capricorn, in this reading, I think you're doing a job that you don't want to do, but I think you're doing it for the cash. The outcome for the advice for how you live a better life is the Page of Wands in the upright. And let's have a look at what comes with this page. I think the Page of Wands in the upright is saying that you need to pursue this creative path with that Page of Wands in the upright if you want to feel empowered. Five of Swords in the reverse is all about taking your power back. If you want to take your power back, you're going to have to go out there and explore this new journey, this new line. What I get from this reading is, you guys, if this resonates with you, Capricorn, you're too afraid to go out there and pursue something in 2018. And it's because of the money. You know, how you live your better life is here, look. Stop investing, stop working towards financial stability in terms, or holding, or, you know, maintaining some form of financial stability. Because this is the card, Four of Coins will show up sometimes, and it will say, especially when it's a work-related reading, I think this is a work-related reading, I think that you guys are doing something for the money here because it pays the bills, which is fair enough, everybody does it. But I don't think you really want to do it. The Four of Coins will show up in a career reading. It'll say, well, I'm doing this because I'm earning the money. I need the money. That's why I do it. But I'm bored as fuck with it. I'm really bored, but I do it for the money. And it's saying, well, stop investing. Stop working towards. Stop. Eight of Coins in the reverse. Stop working towards things that just, two money cards. Stop working towards things that just give you money. Because what you could experience is the freedom. Seven of Wands in the reverse is all about having the freedom. The gate is now open. So what you could experience with this Seven of Wands is the freedom to start acting. Four of Swords in the reverse is to act. To start acting on your own personal desires. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse is about personal desire rather than shared desire. Capricorn. As hard as this reading might be for some of you guys, because look, it says, you know what, you guys, your challenge is severing, Ace of Swords reverse, severing a tie, severing communications, not just communication, a contract, a partnership. Well, the universe is saying, if your challenge is that, don't start Ace of Wands in the reverse, what you can't finish, Death in the reverse. You can't finish something with Death in the reverse, and you can't start something with Ace of Wands in the reverse. So don't even bother going there, Capricorn. You want it. You want something here, but what I'm getting from this reading, Capricorn, is that you're bloody well scared. You want it, but you think that you can get something by only putting little bits and bobs into an area, and that's not always how life works. You think that you can get some form of change by not putting a real effort into it. You think you can keep things the same if you make little modifications, and I think the universe is saying, well, no, you can't. If you don't like this, let's go through the reading again. I don't think that this is now you making a decision. I think this is showing reluctance, Two of Swords in the reverse. Let's get this reading again. I think this is probably the most interesting reading I've done of all of these, Capricorn. I've got to be honest. I think it's the most interesting one. It's the one that I've found the most mind-blowing and the most nuanced and the most interesting of all the signs I've read for. This is the best one I've read. Really good reading. Excellent, exceptional. If it resonates with you guys, look. I think that you guys are refusing, because Two of Swords in the reverse can also mean to... These reversals and uprights can mean an amalgamation of things. But I think with this Two of Swords in the reverse, you are refusing. Two of Swords in the reverse. You're blocking out with this Two of Swords in the reverse. You're ignoring with that Two of Swords in the reverse that you need to take a new direction with the Two of Wands. Because, and some of you guys, you might realise this. I think you realise that you'd like a new direction either way. Because the reason that you want to change your life and live your best life is because you guys are not getting recognition as this Queen of Wands. You're not getting recognition for your abilities, for your skills, for the things that you do, for the way that you've helped other people out, especially in terms of working matters, for the fact that you've worked late nights, or you've been able to multitask and do a million and one things at the same time. And you've just been able to do lots and lots and lots of things, Capricorn, but nobody's giving you that recognition. Now, as a result of that, you've said to yourselves, well, nobody's giving me recognition here, so you know what? How am I going to change my life around in 2018? Well, I'm not going to make any major decisions with the Judgment card in the reverse until I know for sure, Seven of Cups in the reverse, exactly what it is that I'm going into or what I'm going to do. Because my goal is, I don't really want to pursue any major upheavals this year with the Tower energy. The Knight of Swords in the reverse is the absence of passion, the absence of confidence, and the absence of direction sometimes, and the absence of pursuement or pursuing something. So I think that you guys, your goal is not to pursue, Knight of Swords in the reverse, any major upheavals, which is why you're doing this. Judgment in the reverse. Not making any major decisions. Remember, they're major cards, this one. Not making any major decisions until you're very clear, Seven of Cups in the reverse, as to what you want to do. Because your goal is not to make any major decision, not to pursue any major upheavals this year. And that's why you're finding it so difficult. Now, as a result of that, in order for your goal to be realised here, you say, well, if I don't want to pursue any major upheavals this year, what I'm going to do then, I'm just going to kind of accept Five of Cups in the reverse, that I'm going to need to just surrender, just accept. Both cards are acceptance in the reverse. Surrender is Nine of Wands in the reverse, and to accept that something is the way it is or something is gone is Five of Cups in the reverse, and move on from it. So for me, this is saying that as a result of this, your goals being, I don't really want any too much drama, too much upheaval, too much this, too much that this year. I just want it to be a nice, easy year where everything is kind of like on a balance. What I think I'll do is, what I'll focus on is just accepting, just assimilating myself to this. So I'm not recognised for what I can do. I'll put up with it, be okay. Because my challenge as a Capricorn is, I don't really want to sever ties with this partnership. It's okay, it's not bad. Yeah, I don't get the recognition, but it is a partnership and it's a good one. I don't really want to sever ties. So the universe turns around and says, okay, fair enough. You don't want to do that, Capricorn, fair enough. Well, don't start anything you can't finish. I.e., don't start that. Don't start looking at all of these choices. This is only a small thing so far here, though. It's very small. So you haven't really done anything from what I can see in this reading for some of you Capricorns. I don't really think you've done anything. And then the universe says, well, if you want to enhance your life, because it knows that you do. This is the thing, Capricorn. For a lot of you guys, the universe actually knows. Or ask, why is it giving you this information? The universe is saying, but we know, you might say all of this, Capricorn, but we actually know that you do want to enhance your life in 2018. And how do we know that? Because what we're advising you to do is to stop putting so much onus and so much focus on the financial gain, on having to keep the flow of money to be stable completely. Because you're living in a place of scarcity rather than abundance. So some of you guys are living that scarcity life rather than the abundant life. Because you refuse to sever ties with this, even though you don't get any recognition. And even after that, you refuse to make any important decisions until you streamline. But the real thing here is saying that it's in your goals. Your goals are, you don't really want to pursue any major upheavals or any major drama this year. So you say, well, therefore, if I don't want this, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to kind of just assimilate and surrender and put up with this. But the universe is saying, no, you want more than that, don't you, Capricorn? Stop putting the onus on scarcity, because the Four of Coins, the reason why that guy holds on to that money is because he's afraid to lose it. Stop putting the onus, Eight of Coins, stop putting the focus, Eight of Coins in the reverse, on this. Because what you could find coming in is the Seven of Wands in the reverse. You could find that the universe suddenly opens up and gives you that Four of Swords. So, in other words, you could experience somewhere along the line the freedom, Seven of Wands, to start acting, Ace of Swords in the reverse, Four of Swords in the reverse, sorry, on your own personal desires, Queen of Pentacles. And that could be a business, financially orientated, something you've wanted to set up for a long time, whatever the case is. Because your hopes are the Empress. And this is maybe for some of you guys a creative business, something, you know, home renovations, for example, home remodeling, for example, clothing line, for example, beauty line, for example, to bring you finances, to bring you a stream of cash in, to bring you something of an income with the Knight of Coins showing here. So I think that you guys are looking to do something more creative, more freeing, but you seem to stick with something because it brings the money in. Even though you don't get the recognition that you want, you seem to still stick with it because you're living in the scarcity syndrome. And the universe is saying, no, you need to stop doing that, Capricorn, because you could experience the freedom to act on a personal desire here, whichever way that comes in. Because you guys really want to. Your hopes are to build an empire for some of you guys, the Empress. To build a business, a creative business that's going to give you some form of an income with the Knight of Coins. And therefore, the advice from the universe is, you know what? If you want to enhance your life, which you do, but some of you guys, I think it's showing that you're scared. I think a lot of you Capricorns, if this resonates with you, I think you're scared because of the scarcity, because of the money shit, because you're afraid to lose a certain income. It's saying, look, Page of Wands, you need to at least examine these dreams more seriously. Explore them. This is a curious person, the Page of Wands. It's also a student, a learner. So going out there and exploring the options with the Page of Wands, exploring the potential of doing things with this Page of Wands, will bring you to a place of empowerment with that Five of Swords in the reverse. You will feel empowered even if you don't know what you're doing. Page of Swords in the reverse. Page of Swords, and this empowerment is in terms of researching as well. Research behind the scenes is the Page of Swords in the reverse. But also this is a lack of experience, Page of Swords. So you're going to be feeling empowered even though you might feel a lack of experience in where you are going, on what you're doing, on what you want to do. If you go out there and follow your dreams, you will start to feel stronger in terms of your lack. So this is a lack, Page of Swords in the reverse. It's a lack of experience, a lack of knowledge. You'll start to build, I feel, with this Five of Swords on your lack of knowledge. Page of Swords in the reverse can be lack of experience and lack of knowledge, and the Five of Swords is to empower. So I think that you'll start to empower yourself even though you feel a lack of knowledge or there's a lack of experience, because Page of Swords in the reverse is a lack of experience in terms of, you know, and I think that some of you guys do lack experience in communicating with others or building or business meetings or whatever it is with this Three of Coins here. Because the Page of Swords is a lack of experience. And the Three of Coins is all about meetings and communicating with others and developing plans. So some of you guys might lack experience in terms of building, you know, relationships, business relationships. But if you get out there and stuff, and if you go and just explore the opportunities with that Page of Wands, it might feel, or it might give you a sense of empowerment, bravery and confidence. For those of you who lack experience, I feel, with the Page of Swords in the reverse in developing or building businesses for yourself, or developing or building new projects, I think some of you guys lack the experience, and this is where the fear is. I think you want to do something else, but I think that there's a lack of confidence here because you're not very experienced in it. But I think the universe is saying, well, go out there and do it, because you could find with this Five of Swords in the reverse that it would be very empowering for you, especially as some of you guys feel that you lack the experience and the confidence and the initiative and the intelligence with that Page of Swords in the reverse to really start to develop with others or work with others on a dream or a passion. You either do that or don't start anything you can't finish, because you'll just leave yourself feeling worse than some of you guys already do on this reading. Some of you guys, I think, are living in fear, but there's a time to, if you really want to enhance your life, it's about making a start and feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Let's have a look at what the advice cards are saying to you guys very quickly. So let's have a look. So Universe, Spirit, Angel Power Tarot cards. What is the advice that you have for Capricorn for how they can live their best lives in 2018, show me? the Wheel, new beginnings, end of delays, a change in direction that offers happiness. So that's the Wheel of Fortune. Do not be afraid to start working towards your dreams and your aspirations, because that wheel, when the opportunity arises, take it, because the Wheel of Fortune can talk about unexpected arrivals, you know, unexpected bits of luck that come your way. So whatever comes your way, take it and run with it. Getting into the vortex advice. What is the advice from getting into the vortex? Universe Spirit, what is the advice that you have from getting into the vortex for Capricorn and improving their lives in 2018? Show me. Making peace with my today will improve my future. And it says, it may sound odd, but the fastest way to get a new and improved situation, which is what we were talking about, is to make peace with your current situation. By making lists of the most positive aspects you can find about your current situation, you then release your resistance to the improvements that are waiting for you. But if you rail against the injustices of your current situation, you hold yourself in vibrational alignment with what you do not want, and you cannot then move in the direction of improvement. It defies law, and that makes a lot of sense. And there might be something great in here where you're not getting recognition, so the way that you want to start to enhance your life through that is to not make any radical changes until you've made, you know, so things become very clear to you. Because because you don't really want to kind of start any upheavals in 2018. Your goal is not to pursue any major changes with the Tower energy. But what concerns me is how you're going to achieve that is by just surrendering to whatever this is. Accept where you are, which is good. But I think that what this is saying is, when it says the fastest way to get a new and improved situation is to make peace with your current situation. By making a list of the most positive aspects you can find about your current situation, then you release your resistance. The trouble is you're not releasing resistance here, and this is where I think it is. I think the universe is saying, look, stop focusing on scarcity. Four of Coins is scarcity, not having enough, so you need to hold on to everything. And that's it. It's telling you not to focus on it. In other words, release resistance. You guys got resistance built up here. The final advice that the angels have for you for this particular reading, I think I might call this reading release resistance. Angels, hitting with the angels cards, what is the final bit of advice you have for Capricorn and how they can enhance their year in 2018, their lives? Yeah, it's telling you to focus. Tells you to focus. We'll get a quick reading on that focus card there, actually. C, D, E, F. Think about what you want, not what you don't want. And it's saying the same thing here as well. See? It's here. This is it. This is it here. It spoke about it here. Told you here to make peace with where you are. Make peace with it. Because making peace and not looking at the thing negatively will release resistance. You guys, you need to take your focus off scarcity with the Four of Coins. Guard your thoughts carefully because they create your experiences. Sometimes it seems that our thoughts choose us, but this is never the case. We always choose our thoughts every moment. Our thoughts always have an effect, and there are no neutral thoughts. 1/2 second before you hold a thought, you decide to hold it. So, with practice, you can learn to monitor and alter your thoughts. This is the equivalent of putting your hands on the steering wheel of your life. You may believe that your concentration abilities are impaired, yet the infallible mind of God is within your own mind. You can experience remarkable feats of concentration by affirming, I am now able to focus my mind at will. I hold only loving thoughts, and my angels act as my gatekeepers in establishing a steady stream of thoughts of love. Exactly. You guys, this is what it's saying. Coming in. The next step, I think this is the most important step because this is the step that's really going to help you. This is intrinsic. Stop focusing on scarcity. That's what these cards are. Focus. Focus only on what you want. Okay? If you release this, because what you'll see coming in is the freedom. The Seven of Wands in the reverse is freedom and it's release. The freedom to start acting on your personal desires. If you can start to release. To defocus, to deactivate that focus point of scarcity. Live in abundance, not scarcity. If you guys want to do something in 2018 and you're not particularly happy where you are, especially in terms of work, stop focusing on the, oh, but what if this, what if that. If you focus on, well, okay, I want to do this. I'm not happy with what I'm doing right now, but I'm going to try and do this other thing. And just think forward. Don't think backwards, because that will really stunt your growth in moving forward in 2018. You can achieve whatever you want. But the Page of Wands, go out there and explore. A final bit of advice. Going out there, exploring stuff, being brave, will empower you. Because some of you may lack confidence in building your dreams, in working on your dreams, and working on projects to enhance your life, to bring rewards in. I'm seeing a lack of confidence for some of you Capricorns. Don't live in scarcity, live in abundance, and you will see those changes coming in. Thanks for your time, guys. Take care.